Here we meet again for another legendary game. This is our third episode of Legendary Games. Now start about this game. This game is known as the Game of the Century. As I already told you, booby play with black and win this game. NF3 NF6. A solid and flexible opening move by Bobby Fischer. He chooses the hypermodern approach of controlling the center with his knights rather than occupying it with pawns right away. C4 G6. Fischer continues with the hypermodern setup, fianchettoing his kingside bishop. This move prepares for future kingside pawn advances while keeping the diagonal open for the bishop. NC3 Bg7. Fischer develops his kingside knight, following basic opening principles. Both sides are preparing for further piece development. D4 Castle. Bg5. White's bishop move to G5 pins black's knight on F6 to the queen on D8. This is a common setup in many openings, putting pressure on black's position. D5. Fischer challenges the center, opening up lines for his pieces and breaking the pin on his knight. Fischer's opening moves demonstrate his understanding of opening principles, controlling the center, developing pieces, and breaking threats. Bxf6 Bxf6. Fischer captures on F6 with the bishop, which simplifies the position and relieves the pin on his knight. Exchanging pieces can lead to a more manageable middle game position, which may be favorable for Fischer given his tactical skills. CxD5 C6. Fischer opens up the center further, exchanging pawns and gaining central influence. Fischer's moves show his willingness to create imbalanced positions. While white has a lead in development, black is working on piece activity and central control. E4 Cxd5. Fischer captures on D5 with the pawn, gaining central control and creating an isolated pawn on D5 for white. NxD5 Bg7. Fischer develops his kingside bishop, fianchettoing it to G7, and connects his rooks. Fischer's setup is harmonious, with coordinated development and piece activity. B2 NC6. Fischer continues with natural piece development. His pieces are well placed, and he is preparing for potential central or kingside pawn breaks. Fischer's position is solid and flexible. His moves emphasize piece activity and development. Castle Bg4. Fischer pins white's knight on D5 to the queen on D1, putting pressure on white's position. Fischer's moves illustrate the importance of piece coordination and the exploitation of tactical opportunities in the middle game. E5 Qxd5. Fischer captures the pawn on D5, exploiting the pinned knight. He wins material. Fischer's tactics have paid off, and he emerges from the opening with a material advantage. H3 Bxf3. Fischer captures on F3 with the bishop, doubling white's pawns. Bxf3 Qxd4. Fischer exchanges queens, simplifying into an endgame with an extra pawn. Bxc6 Qxd1. Fischer captures on D1, and maintaining a material advantage. Rfxd1 Bxc6. F4 Rfd8. Fischer activates his rook and connects his rooks on the d-file. Kf2 F6. Fischer advances his kingside pawn, creating weaknesses in white's pawn structure. E6 F5. Fischer's pawn advances further, gaining space and fixing white's pawn on e6. Rxd8 plus Rxd8. Fischer exchanges rooks, simplifying into a winning endgame. G2 road 6. Fischer's rook becomes active, targeting the pawn on d6. Rc1 rook 6 plus. Fischer wins another pawn with a discovered check. Kf3 bd4. Fischer improves piece coordination, bringing his bishop to a more active square. G4 re3 plus. Fischer's rook becomes active again, targeting white's pawn on g4. Kilogram 2 re2 plus. Fischer continues to win material by capturing the pawn on g2 with a check. Kf3 rf2 plus. Fischer captures the rook on f2 with a check, further simplifying and winning material. Kilogram 3 rxb2. Fischer captures another pawn, leaving him with a winning material advantage. Rxc6 ra2. Kh4 ra3. Gxf5 gxf5. Kilogram 5 rxh3. Fischer advances his passed pawn and simplifies further. Kxf5 bf6. Fischer consolidates his position, ensuring the safety of his king. Ra6 bd4. Q4 bb6. Fischer's bishop returns to a more active square, helping control the center. Ra2 kf7. Rg2 re3 plus. Kf5 re6. Rh2 rf6 plus. Fischer's king advances while maintaining strong piece coordination. Q5 h6. F5 bc7 plus. Q4 bxh2. Fischer wins another piece, leaving white with very few resources. Bobby Fischer's performance in this game is exemplary. He demonstrates excellent opening understanding, tactics, and endgame technique. His ability to exploit weaknesses in his opponent's position and simplify into a winning endgame showcases his skill and understanding of chess principles. Fischer's moves emphasize the importance of piece coordination, central control, and tactical opportunities, ultimately leading to a convincing victory.